All right, welcome to the Rich Lewis Jr. radio broadcast. This is a special edition broadcasting live out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Another plane has fallen from the skies. We don't know if this is a rocket launcher or who's behind this terrorist attack, but again, another plane has fallen from the sky. We have breaking news here on jobs numbers. Now, the lowest filings for unemployment in 6 years. Got chaos, confusion, and denial happening at the White House. Obama is now taking another vacation. Congress is set to break for their summer recess. These guys think they're in junior high school or on going back to mommy's house here to take a break, live in a basement, hang out, and swim and play pool all summer long. Unbelievable. The border crisis is out of control. Have you heard enough about this, or have you not heard enough about this? It's out of control. Calling all governors. I'm calling all governors. In all 50 states, all governors. Alert, alert, alert. Calling all governors. It is time to send additional troops to all southern borders. Most likely the Democratic governors will not participate in this. As a matter of fact, Governor Brown, California, liberal, far left, just signed a new bill into law that extends the process to deport illegal immigrants by 1 day so they cannot, I repeat, they cannot be deported. You heard me right. He signed another bill into law that protects illegal aliens committing crimes in the state of California against legal citizens, American citizens, taxpayers, working class. The people that put the bill, the so-called entitlement seekers. Out of control. This is getting really out of control. I hope you're listening and paying attention here. It's Rich Lewis Jr. radio broadcast. So I also like to say that considering back in 2010, 2011, I suggested sending troops to the borders. Also building some outposts out there. The desolate land that we have out there is a perfect place for another military installation, training ground. We've got one in Camp Pendleton. You've got one near San Diego. It's a great opportunity to use some funds, build an intense training center there, and also we can monitor the border. So this political strategy by calling all governors, send troops to help Rick Perry, Jan Brewer, and of course the California border as well. Now this will play a particular bit of confusion for Barack Obama. Jerry Brown, the other lefties out there, John Hickenlooper. Denver's in a state of chaos. They don't know what to do out there. House prices are way too high. Hickenlooper has got a sanctuary city there. It's been going on since 2004, 2005. That's when I was currently residing in Denver, Colorado. And you've got Boulder, of course, a super liberal. Now, of course, people with money, they want to they make the money, then they don't want any pollution, any dirt, or anything going on. But in Boulder right now, Boulder, Colorado, I'm talking about, the homeless rate there is through the roof. And the city is really spiraling out of control no matter what you read in reports. So those are things here. Now this is going to pose a significant issue for President Obama. If other states and governors start sending troops to the borders, he's going to be put in a little precarious situation. Don't you agree? A little dilemma here with chaos, confusion, and denial. I'd like to run through some precision accuracy headlines that we did about this. Besides the border security and the border invasion that we're seeing here, I would predict that Jerry Brown would make headlines and be a possibly participant in the 2016 presidential election, depending on how well Hillary Rodham Clinton was polling. But I did predict that she will not get the nomination. I could get that wrong, but I'm predicting that Hillary Rodham Clinton will not get the nomination. You have another far left liberal out there, Warren, Massachusetts, liberal Democrat. She's going to chant and chant and chant about the Supreme Court decision and Hobby Lobby, and they're going to overturn that, which they cannot do. Sorry, they cannot do that. And she's going to scream for equal pay for women. Right now, women are making more money in their lifetimes than they ever have in the history. They've got skills, talents, leadership abilities. Women are working. Women are excelling, and I'm glad to see it. So another interesting thing here we're going to talk about publishing. Publishing, getting your copy on paper in front of an audience so you can use your First Amendment right, storytell, create, make money, do it for free, give your money away, nonprofit, donate it, put it into a trust fund, leave it for inheritance, do nothing with it, you can burn it, it's your money. Well, right now, publishers are feeling pressure from the Obama administration, and they are going to start denying conservative people publishing rights. Well, they paid Hillary Rodham Clinton, what, $10, $12 million, and her book is a complete failure. Complete failure, which is another reason here. But today's topic is now we've got the planes falling out of the sky. We have Israel. I hope you're all supporting Israel. Hamas. You know that Barack Obama's administration gave them $47 million. Let me say that one more time. $47 million to Hamas, a terrorist organization, during this conflict. Barack Obama has given Hamas $47 million. They've just opened up the flights back into Israel. Playing games here with a democratic, small, isolated country who's been our friend and ally now for a long time. If you know anything about the stock market, you know that the Israeli companies are doing very well with technology. These people are very, very sophisticated in technology. I'll let you do your homework on that, and you can call me and write me in, whatever you want to do about that, and tell me what companies Israel is part of, participating in, developing, and owning several significant companies that are doing very, very, very well. So again, now we've got all this happening right, and now this great jobs number comes out again. Same thing happened in 2012. We've got chaos, confusion, and denial. They're trying to find it out. Barack Obama is falling so low in the polls that he is now going to go down as the worst American president in our history, surpassing Jimmy Carter by far. You're going to try to buy a $4.25 million home in Rancho Mirage, California. It's completely isolated. Now, what's going to be really interesting is to see how the Obamas adapt to civilian life. They've been so glorified, acting like he's a king. And he's got a pen, he's got a phone. No, I've got a pen, I've got a phone too. Start calling your friends and neighbors, start writing letters. Start doing it. You can get a nice mass audience there too, because people are now tuning out to the media broadcasts. They're tuning out of CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC. Those ratings are almost in the toilet while Fox skyrockets. And Rupert Murdoch, I hope he gets the go-ahead to go with Time Warner. We need a new voice, different direction. And the job numbers, again, we're going to talk about data manipulation and how spreadsheets and mathematical equations and simple mathematics can be easily manipulated and swayed for any reason. And if you took any basic math or college courses, or if you attended a private school, you probably have some information or some knowledge or some experience about what I'm telling you right now. If you're stuck in public schools, you're going to be going through Common Core. The thing about Common Core is that it's $40 a test or thereabouts. So they're charging you now $40 a test, and the test is designed to have your child fail, and you have to pay the test the $40 over and over again until you pass that test. How do you like that? How does that make you feel? How about steak prices? You been in the grocery store? All of you who are not on food stamps, 115% rise since Barack Obama took office. Food stamps. The claim today was that they're proud of a 3.5% error rate in their spending on food stamps, welfare programs. It's expanding. And I was in the parking lot yesterday coming out of a grocery store. I go to different grocery stores around where I'm at. I look at prices. I look at shopping carts. I do exploratory visual experiments to relay this back to my viewers, my listeners here. My audience is growing, which is fantastic. My sponsors are growing, which is fantastic. I've actually had a couple of referrals from my sponsors, and they've actually generated new clientele from this little radio broadcast. richlewisjr.com radio broadcast coming to you live from West Palm Beach. A little breaking story here. We're calling all governors to the border. All governors We need more troops to support Jan Brewer and Rick Perry in all southern borders. I would even like to participate with a little bit of Jerry Brown, who just signed that bill by extending the law by 1 day, so that an illegal immigrant charged with a crime, a misdemeanor, or a felony, depending on the classification of the crime committed against a United States citizen, they will not be deported. They will not spend much time in jail to try and knock it down to a misdemeanor or a nonviolent or some type of an elementary class misdemeanor, which doesn't even require most likely a court appearance, probably one probation visit or a slap on the wrist, and away you go back in society as you go. These kids are being held up here at the border station. Age classification subgroups. It's the only way they can do it. Age classification. Come over as a family and they say, oh, you're 4, you're here, you're 5, you're here, you're 6, you're 10, you're here, you're here, you're here. But right now they've got 30 million, 40 million. I don't have the exact number on this. They've got tens of millions of green cards. Nancy Pelosi, Charles Schumer, Harry Reid, they want to issue these green cards to these people. And of course they're going to send them a court date. You know what? They just gave a report today. Nobody shows up for the court date. This is how they write legislation. I have a new article coming out talking about legislation, how bills and laws are written to proceed, and how it's all backtracked and data tracked, and how it's all manipulated in legal mumbo jumbo. And if you break it down to layman's terms, which is very difficult to do, I happen to have a little knack for deciphering some of the code they throw in there, so I'm able to break it down and explain it to someone on a pretty relatively simple basis. So that's today's broadcast here. We're focusing on calling all governors and military outposts in a new way to protect our borders and these children being confined and basically abused. My understanding is they're abused, potential crimes against humanity could be a possibility here. And again, then they're going to secretly deploy these children and juveniles. Now, don't forget the word juveniles, because children are a different age classification. Juveniles are another classification up to the age of 17, 18. You're an adult, and they may try to bend that rule or provide some type of a new identification number for that to meet their purposes. So by deploying these troops to the borders, it's going to cause Barack Obama and his administration to really think about what he's going to do, and that's going to cause chaos, confusion, but no denial here. So it'll cause chaos and confusion for his administration because they won't know what to do. They can't even answer a question directly at the State Department without a smirk on their face. And these are really simple softball type questions. So again, the correlation for today is a plane shut out of the sky and went vanishing. The IRS found the lowest learner tapes, the backup tapes. Now the question is, are these backup tapes just a figment of the imagination to solve the litigation and questioning that Congress wants to ask certain individuals based upon prior responses under oath to possibly charge them with, you know the word, right? Perjury. Will they arrest lowest learner? I don't know. They probably should have. They have the power to do that, put their foot down, but they have not done that. The White House has asked Darrell Issa, Republican, California, self-made millionaire, to please stop. Please stop. We'll have a little silent conversation behind closed doors and we can work this all out. Well, now these hard drives are found, of course, but nothing's kept on the hard drive. It's up in the cloud. It's always backed up. There's numerous data for this. For any other purpose, any other reason, these emails would be readily available to bring down and destroy any type of a corporation, an individual, a political entity, a political correspondent, a news reporter, you name it, they would use these emails, and all of a sudden when it happens to a Democrat, liberal, inside the United States government at this time of our lifetime, 2008 to 2016, unfortunately, these emails have come up. Now the question is, are they going to actually follow a trail? Are they using data manipulation and keystroke technology to manipulate the data and the emails to try to cover their tracks? Now, based upon Obamacare, which had a little blow to it, you have two different courts there saying two different things, ambiguity, confusion relates to this, and wording, exact wording on that. 36 states did not open, I believe it's 36 states, did not open health exchanges. The others did, and there's no federal funding or subsidies for coming from the federal government. It has to be done through the states. So that leaves a very